Prepared text, but I've decided after talking to some of you guys to leave it in my pocket. I think I'll just talk from the top of my head about a couple things that are very, very important. First of all, what do I do? What's going on? How was the Samides visit last week? I had the good fortune to sit down in the meetings that Prime Minister Samides had with the President, with Secretary Powell, with Secretary Rumsfeld last week, and he had a phone call with Vice President Cheney. And when he meets with someone, it's via teleconference or over the phone, just because of the security dimension there. And that's the new reality that we all deal with these days. This is not the world we grew up in. Those of you who are used to traveling frequently to and from Greece, and you haven't been there in 2 weeks, when you go there, your drachmas are not going to be used. They're not going to be taken. It's now the euro. And it was kind of interesting because in the meeting in the Oval Office that the Prime Minister had with President Bush, he pulled out a euro coin and gave it to the President. And this is kind of, now that signifies a lot because, as I said, Greece had to do a lot of stuff to qualify to be in the Eurozone. Some miraculous things have happened in Greece on the economic side. Its growth rate, right now with all of the shocks, Greece has the highest growth rate not only among the EU countries, but among all of the OECD countries, which is a wider group of European countries, 3.8%. In these days, that's pretty good. I was thinking about this foreign minister, George Papandreou, and the fact that his father was the prime minister throughout the, most of the 80s and some of the 90s. And I remembered as we were talking about some of the subjects that back then, Andreas Papandreou used to go to the Middle East, particularly to countries that we didn't have a particularly good relationship with. We would kind of hold our hands and say, God, I hope there isn't too much damage to our interest. And I'm sure he would think the same about us. Now George Papandreou goes to Iran, he goes to Syria, goes to other countries that we still don't particularly have a good relationship. We talk before, we talk during, we talk afterwards. In other words, there's a much greater harmony. 3 months after the events of September 11th, President Bush had an idea in early December, and this actually came directly from the President. He wanted embassies around the world to do something, and he didn't tell us what. He said, it's up to you, to commemorate the 3-month anniversary of September 11th. So we decided to do an event at the residence. It's the American Ambassador's house, and this was filmed, it was all over Greek TV, it was on CNN, etc. And I think this is the Greek government and many of the people in Greece's way of saying, we do support you, we do sympathize with you. Among other things, one of the things that Greece did right after the events of September 11th was they offered to have some of their crews fly the NATO AWACS planes that have been patrolling the eastern United States. And imagine that image for a second. Greek crews flying protective cover over the United States. For 50 years, it was vice versa. One question I'm asked is, do we support Cypriot entry into the EU? Absolutely, no question about it. The relationship between Greece and Turkey has improved substantially. Some people call it seismic diplomacy as a result of the earthquakes in both countries, and each country coming at the assistance of the other. You now have a process, you now have a situation where the countries can deal directly with each other, and that's what the two foreign ministers do. There still is a domestic terrorist group out there. It's called November 17th. They first struck 26 years ago. They've killed a number of people, 22 people altogether, 5 of whom have been from the American Embassy. Several dozen people from the American Embassy have been injured in attacks by this terrorist group. It's small, it's deadly, it has not been penetrated. There has never been an arrest or prosecution of any members of this group. We're working closely with the Greek government. I can't say that the cooperation in the past has always been that good, but now it is quite good. And those of you who are exercised over that 60 minutes thing, I would just say a couple things. Number one, those were ex-U.S. officials talking. Those were not current U.S. officials. And they were voicing their own opinions. Number two, there is a problem. Number three, the cooperation between our two sides is good. This leads me to the Olympics. A lot of people ask me, are they going to be able to pull off the Olympics? Are they going to be able to put them on? Are this going to be a safe Olympics? It's a challenge. I mean, this is a massive, massive undertaking. Anytime a country of less than 11 million people has to spend over $3 billion, of which 600 million are going to be on security alone, that's a big challenge. Infrastructure is going to be tough to get it all completed. They're not going to have the hotel rooms. Their deficit's 7,000 hotel rooms. So any of you who are thinking that you could kind of mosey over to the Olympics and make reservations sometime in early 2004, I think you're out of luck. This is the Greek Olympics, and and this is their show to put on. So we'll work as closely as we can to make this a success, particularly on the security side. But it is also my responsibility to try to help you resolve those problems. And I will, and have been, tenacious in defending those interests, because I am very, very sensitive to the fact that it is your tax dollars that send me over there, and in a very real way, I work for you. Thank you very, very much.